Um, oh man, yeah, I just finished The Last of Us, and yeah, there's definitely a lot to talk about. I'm gonna discuss with you guys what I did and didn't like about the game, and whether it's an instant replay or an instant regret. What is up, everyone? I'm Daniel. Welcome to Instant Replay. Now, enough with the talking, on with the review. So, just to be clear, I was definitely a huge fan of the first game. I absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite games of all time. My wife, who's not a gamer, was actually backseat gaming with me, and she was just hooked into the story as well, as much as I was. And so, yeah, it definitely has a special place in my heart. So, if you haven't been paying attention at the moment to what's going on, this game has definitely been controversial. It's definitely been a divisive one, to say the least. Critics are giving it a 10 out of 10. Fans are trashing it and review bombing it. Critics are attacking fans. Fans are attacking critics. It's just been a total dumpster fire. I myself did in fact read the leaks prior to the game's release, and I was definitely pretty pissed off. I thought there's no way the story can't be this bad, just no way. So I gave Naughty Dog the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to follow the angry mob. I mean, I'm sure there's, context to all these leaks, right? I mean, right? Yeah. Despite all that, I didn't like this game at all, like, at all. I mean, I really, really, really wanted to like this game. I really did, but it's just, there's just so many things that make no sense that it just ruins the rest of the experience, which at times is a good experience. I mean, the graphics and gameplay, I mean, they're pretty good. So yeah, before I get into the story, let's talk about that, the gameplay and graphics. Now, at first, I honestly wasn't too impressed with the graphics. I just came off playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, which is an amazing game, by the way. And yes, I know I'm late to the party, like a few years late, but that's neither here or there, whatever. So I wasn't impressed with the graphics at first, but once you get into Seattle, which is basically the main setting of the game, it's definitely a sight to behold. Naughty Dog definitely outdid themselves once again. It's an amazing achievement. These are some probably the best graphics, honestly, that I have ever seen, not only in console, but like ever. It's amazing what they were able to achieve, especially because technically it's the last gen consoles, because the PS5 is just literally around the corner. Yeah, these graphics are definitely amazing. So on to the gameplay. Yeah, this game is definitely fun. I'm not gonna lie, and I can just be like, despite me not liking the game, I'm not gonna lie and just be like, oh, the whole game's terrible. That's and that's not the case. I had a lot of fun playing this game. The level design, the counters are great. Everything has been improved from the previous game. The mechanics have been polished. I love the feeling of adrenaline when I walk in a room and full of clickers, and I'm just trying to strategize how I'm gonna take them out, and it's definitely an adrenaline rush. However, in saying that, it all begins to start to wear thin, it becomes repetitive as the story progresses. And on that note, yeah, so I'm gonna move forward to the story. Yeah, it just isn't good. I don't know. I just felt like it was all over the place, especially, in the beginning. You start off as Joel, then you switch to Ellie, and then you switch to Abby, which is the new character everyone hates. So yeah, you switch between these characters often in the beginning. I would say roughly around the first 2 hours, and so it was definitely hard for me to just get invested in the story, because every time I would just switch to like these different characters, it would just completely take me out of the story. Any momentum that was progressing the story or building up, it just would kill that instantly. To me, it was just a bad choice of direction. It was just bad. So yeah, let's talk about that scene, the scene that everyone is pissed about, I myself included. The moment Abby kills Joel. I mean, as I mentioned earlier before, I did read the leaks. However, I did not know it was going to take place, within 2 hours of starting this game. It was just so poorly written. Like, leading up to that, Joel, is out of character, lets his guard down, and just gives out his name. I mean, even later on in the game, it's even mentioned that he gives Jesse a hard time about Ellie going out on patrols, because that's just the way he is. I mean, he's super skeptical and cautious about his surroundings. I mean, he trusts no one. So the whole scene, and just the fact, the mere coincidence that Joel ended up in the hands of Abby, just didn't make sense. It's like why? Just who wrote this? Just why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
Why? Now, obviously, at that moment, Ellie, wants revenge, so I was on board with that. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely like, all right, like, yeah, I'm sure everyone else was too, you know, playing the game, like, let's get some sweet revenge, you know. So you end up in Seattle, you're trying to hunt Abby down, and there was some in-between moments, which I really liked, of flashbacks of Allie and Joel, and I'm not gonna lie, these moments were very moving and emotional. I was like, you know what, give me more of that, you know, especially that part where Joel tells Allie the truth. Man, you know, that definitely got me in the feels, you know. And this is like what frustrates me about the game. We wanted more of this, you know, like these characters we fell in love with the first game that we actually cared about. That's pretty much where the good parts of the story ends, you know, because they do, you know, the unthinkable, and you know, that is, they force you to play as Abby, which pretty much, it seemed like it was pretty much for the rest of the game. So yeah, they make you play as Abby, and just the way they do it is so poorly written. They start off with a flashback of her and her father basically freeing a zebra because they want you to sympathize with her, but it's like, dude, she killed Joel at the beginning of the game, you know, a character that we all love. Not only that, she also killed him in the most brutal way possible by smashing his brains in, pretty much, I mean, literally. And you know, with a golf club, and while Allie's forced to watch, and she literally just minutes prior to that flashback, she killed Jesse with a shot to the head. And you expect us to sympathize with her because, you know, she freed a zebra, like, while she bonded with her dad? Like, what the heck? No, this isn't how, like, this works. Do you really think we're gonna be, you know, we're gullible and dumb enough to fall for this cheap trick? Critics may fall for it and, you know, call it riveting and brave because they were showing the human side of Abby, and it subverted all you know, the expectations by having you play as her as she frees a zebra. You know, honestly, I was almost insulted by this because you expect me to be like, oh, she's freeing a zebra with her, all else is forgiving. Treat your audience better, Naughty Dog. We're better than this. But the most insulting thing of all this is they make you play as her, you know, as I mentioned before, you know, for the rest of the game, it pretty much seemed like. But I was just so uninterested in her character because not only did she kill Joel, but we really don't know much of her other than she freed a zebra, like, with her dad right before he goes into surgery with Allie. I mean, I just didn't care. So like the 10 plus hours you play with her is just so boring. Like, I just seriously want to stop playing the game. And I was looking at the Spider-Man game that I just bought. Side note, I plan on playing that game soon for the first time. Yeah, I've been pretty much late on all these games that I've been wanting to play. So yeah, be sure to check out a full walkthrough I'll be doing soon. So yeah, definitely check that out. Anyways, I was saying I was beyond bored with this game playing as Abby, and you know, and the characters you interact with even more uninteresting. The 10 hours you play as Abby basically involves around her love interest Owen as she goes on a search for him, and the whole storyline is basically a love triangle between Abby and Mel and Owen. It is just so, like, it's just so bad. Like, I seriously felt like I was watching a poorly written soap opera. It was just that bad. So as the story reaches its climax, you're forced to fight Allie. Yes, you heard that correctly. I was completely taken out of the game at this point. I mean, I did not want to fight Allie, as most people probably didn't. I was watching a few streams after I beat the game, and literally everyone was doing the same thing, letting Allie kill Abby as you control. I thought that was pretty funny. So you know, the fight concludes in, you know, by Abby pretty much sparing Allie for the second time. So you think that would be it. Abby breaks the cycle of revenge. Everyone goes a separate way. Allie starts a family with Dina, but nope. Despite all that, Allie decides to go after Abby again. She throws everything away. I mean, like, and I just couldn't get behind that. You know, it just didn't make sense for a person like Allie to be out of character like that and give up her newfound life with Dina and their baby. It was just beyond stupid. Like, I just couldn't buy it. I mean, just everything in this game is just so forced, like, you know, and it just unearned, just to say, hey, revenge is bad and it's an endless cycle. But it's something we all know. It's something, you know, we know it's wrong. We know this is how it goes, and it leads to more bloodshed and people they love getting killed, but they just constantly hit you in the head over and over again throughout the course of the game to, you know, to the point where it just got boring. I know I'm saying boring a lot, but that's literally how I felt. Yes, they do things that are shocking, and it does subvert your expectations by showing you the raw brutality of revenge, but at the expense of destroying the characters you love by literally killing them off, or having them make choices that are like so out of character that, I mean, it just didn't make sense at all. Like for example, Tommy, when Joel's killed, he wants to seek revenge. He goes and he goes after Abby, but towards the middle of the game, for whatever reason, he's like, nah, this ain't it, Chief. Yeah, this is head back home. And then back to like, yeah, I want some revenge, you know, some of that sweet revenge. And it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, you know, so like I said, just because all this subverts your expectation, it doesn't make it a masterpiece. That doesn't make it a 10 out of 10. Skillup was right in his review. It's, you know, it's like The Last Jedi all over again, where critics, you know, are fooled into believing it's a masterpiece because it subverts expectations and does out of character things for shock value, and they just eat it up. They get suckered into it. But us, the people who are actually fans of the original game and who actually paid for this, can see through all this crap. And it was just like shock value. Like the whole game just seemed like it was shock value, and they just do the most crappiest and brutal things to these characters just to shock people, you know, and it just... everything was so unearned. Everything was just so bad. Like, I just didn't buy any of it. Even at the end of the game, freaking Abby bites Ellie's fingers off. And that's another thing that gets me mad, is because, like, Ellie is full of rage at that moment. She just got her fingers bitten off. And then, for whatever reason, she's like, nah, I'm not going to get revenge anymore. I don't know. This game is just... you know, it just wasn't for me. I mean, maybe it'll be for you, but I don't know. But anyways, I'm done with my rant. Sorry, I got a little carried away, but now I got to give this game a rating, but I think you already know the answer to that. This game is definitely an instant regret. Look, I said, you know, in the beginning, like there's definitely some amazing moments that really moved me, you know, with the flashbacks of Joel and Ellie. And it just breaks my heart, honestly, because I really, really wanted to, you know, love this game, and I wanted to see the story progress, but unfortunately we didn't get that. Instead, we got pretty much a generic revenge story that makes you play as a character that no one asked for or even cared for throughout the game. So I can't, you know, in good faith recommend this game. I just can't. So anyway, guys, that's my review / rant of The Last of Us 2. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. Did you like it? You know, or you didn't like it? Let me know what you guys thought. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe and turn on these notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.